Welcome to the CareClinic Pod. I'm Emma, and this is Jones.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to CareClinic. Ever feel like your own mind is kind of, playing tricks on you, thoughts running in circles, and your emotions are like, ooh, tight.
Yeah. Happens to everyone at some point.
Right. So today we're really getting into two therapies that can help, take back the wheel a bit. CBT and DBT.
And they sound super similar. I get it.
They do.
But they both have, their own unique strengths.
Totally. So whether therapy's brand new to you or you've, kind of been curious, this one's for you.
Absolutely.
Breaking down the jargon, how CBT and DBT work. Real examples of navigating, life's curveballs.
Because let's face it, therapy, it can feel kind of overwhelming to even start.
Where do you even begin? Right. So let's unpack this whole thing. Yeah. What are we even talking about when we say CBT and DBT?
Good question. So they both fall under that talk therapy umbrella, right?
We're
working one-on-one with a mental health pro therapist, psychologist, that sort of thing.
So you're meeting with like a trained expert to help you sort through like thoughts, feelings, all of it.
Exactly. Imagine this. You wouldn't run a marathon without training your body.
Nope.
CBT and DBT, they're like training programs, but for your mind.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
So CBT, how's it approach this whole mental training thing?
So CBT, that's cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's all about how our thoughts, feelings, behaviors are all kind of tangled up together.
They all impact each other.
Big time.
So it's like a domino effect almost.
Yeah.
One thought leads to a feeling, which then what leads to a behavior.
Bingo. Like, say you're dealing with, low self-esteem. You might have thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I'm going to totally mess this up.
You're in your head.
Totally in your head. And those thoughts, they can spiral into feeling like sadness, anxiety, even hopelessness.
Makes sense. And then those feelings can lead you to avoid stuff.
Exactly. Avoid situations, not going after what you want, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so how does CBT actually help break that cycle?
So it helps you spot those kind of sneaky thought patterns, the automatic negative ones, they just pop up,
Without you even realizing half the time.
Exactly. And once you see them, you can start to, challenge them.
So you're not just ignoring them or pretending they're not there?
No way. You acknowledge them, you look at them closely, and you ask yourself, hold on, is this even true?
Put those thoughts on trial.
Exactly. What's the evidence for this thought? What's the evidence against it?
I love that. So you start to realize those negative thoughts, they might not be based on actual reality.
Often they're just assumptions or, kind of distorted thinking patterns, not the real deal.
And by challenging them, that's when you can start to maybe change how you feel and act too.
Exactly. That's the cool part about CBT. It gives you the power to change your life by shifting how you think.
That's amazing. Now, DBT has a difference.
So DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, it actually builds on those CBT principles. But there's this key ingredient. Acceptance of yourself, those tough emotions, the situation you're in, even if it's hard.
Okay.
Think of it like surfing. Life throws these waves of emotion at us, right? DBT is not about stopping the waves. It's about riding them so you don't wipe out.
Wow, I love that. So not avoiding those tough emotions, but learning to handle them in a healthy way. And hey, if you're feeling lost or overwhelmed, the CareClinic app is a great place for resources and support.
Totally. And DBT is super helpful for people who feel emotions really intensely. Anger, sadness, anxiety, all that, and struggle to, manage them.
So it's like DBT gives you those skills to, navigate those choppy waters and find your balance.
You got it. And it breaks down into 4 main areas: mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness.
Okay, those are some heavy hitters. Let's break them down. Mindfulness, what's that all about?
So mindfulness, it's all about being present, right here, right now, not judging yourself, just noticing your thoughts, your feelings as they kind of come and go.
Like watching clouds drift by, kind of.
Exactly. Instead of getting caught up in that loop of, oh no, I'm late, or did I really just say that? You're just observing without the judgment.
That sounds, I don't know, peaceful, but also kind of hard.
Yeah.
Especially when things are really hectic.
And that's where distress tolerance comes in. It's about having healthy ways to deal with those big emotions, those tough situations, without making things worse.
So no more stress eating the whole pint of ice cream.
Well, hey, we've all been there.
Okay.
But yeah, DBT helps you build a toolkit of coping mechanisms, deep breaths, taking a break, calling a friend, things like that.
It's like building up that mental toughness so you're more ready for anything.
Exactly. You're building resilience. And then there's emotion regulation, which is, like it sounds, understanding and managing those emotions in a way that works.
Not letting your emotions control you, but being more in control of yourself.
You got it. You learn to spot your triggers, those things that set you off. You name those emotions accurately, and you find healthy ways to, express them. So instead of freaking out when you're overwhelmed, maybe you take a few deep breaths, do some journaling, talk to someone you trust.
Becoming an emotional ninja. Okay, so mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotion regulation. What about interpersonal effectiveness?
That one's all about relationships, building healthy ones and keeping them strong.
Oh boy, that's a big one.
It is. It's about saying what you need, setting boundaries, handling conflict, all that good stuff, which we all know can be tricky.
For sure. So it's like becoming a better communicator, basically.
You got it. And the cool thing is, all these DBT skills, they can help pretty much anyone.
Sounds like DBT gives you a whole toolbox for a more, balanced life.
Absolutely. And anyone can learn these skills. It just takes practice and sticking with it.
So we've got CBT helping us change those unhelpful thought patterns, and DBT giving us the skills to ride the emotional wave and build those stronger relationships.
There you go.
Both sound incredibly helpful.
They are. And here's a little secret. You don't always have to pick just one.
Wait, really? Tell me more.
Some therapists, they actually blend CBT and DBT in their work.
Interesting.
They might use CBT to help you spot and challenge those negative thoughts, but also weave in DBT stuff like mindfulness and distress tolerance.
So it's like creating your own custom therapy plan.
Exactly. And sometimes combining them is even more effective than using just one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love the idea of having a therapy plan that's really tailored to you. Now, with all this talk about therapy, I'm betting some of our listeners are wondering how to find the right therapist for them. And isn't there a lot of research about how effective these therapies really are?
Those are great questions. And you know what? We're going to dive into those right after we hear from our sponsors. And don't forget, if you're looking for more info or support on your mental health journey, the CareClinic app is a great place to start. Tons of resources there, guided meditations, articles, all designed to support you.
And we're back. Before the break, we were talking about finding the right therapist and, really getting into how effective CBT and DBT can be. So do they actually work? Is there proof?
I'm glad you asked that. Both CBT and DBT, they're considered what they call evidence-based therapies, meaning they've been studied like crazy.
So it's not just people saying, oh yeah, this helped me.
Nope. There's actual science behind it. Decades of research, tons of people seeing real improvements in, how they're doing mentally.
That's reassuring to hear. But I'm guessing, like with anything, results can be different for everyone.
For sure. It's not like a magic wand or anything. Everyone's different.
Right.
Think of it kind of like physical therapy. Some folks bounce back quick. Others, it takes more time,
So it's about being patient, sticking with it, and finding what clicks for you.
Exactly. And that's why having a therapist who's a good fit is huge EE. Someone you connect with, who gets you and what you're aiming for.
Makes sense. Now, are there any downsides to CBT and DBT? Things people should, be aware of?
That's smart to think about. One thing is, both take some real commitment, time-wise.
Right.
You're usually meeting weekly. Plus, there might be some homework or exercises to do between sessions.
So you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
It's not just showing up and hoping for the best.
All right. You got to be active in it, making that effort to actually change your thoughts, your feelings, all that, which, hey, can be tough if you've got a lot going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else?
Some people, with CBT especially, they find it focuses a lot on, changing those thought patterns.
So it's almost like they're being told to just think positive and that's it.
Kind of like that. And that can feel, dismissive if you're dealing with some really intense emotions, But a good CBT therapist, they'll help you work through those negative thoughts without minimizing how you feel.
Finding that balance, right? Challenging those unhelpful thoughts, but also honoring how you feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hey, remember, if you're ever feeling lost or unsure about this whole mental health thing, the CareClinic app is a great resource. Definitely. So it seems like both CBT and DBT, they've got a lot to offer. It takes commitment. Finding the right therapist is key, but it can make a real difference.
Absolutely. Finding what works for you and taking that first step, that's what matters.
Love that. And remember, asking for help is a sign of strength. Never be ashamed of that.
Couldn't agree more.
This has been, a really insightful look at CBT and DBT, But of course, we've only just scratched the surface.
There's always more to learn.
If you're curious to learn more, see which one might be right for you, download the CareClinic app. Tons of great resources there to support you on your mental health journey.
Absolutely, check it out.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of CareClinic. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.